Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adam Samuel. Today we are talking about The Silent Patient by Michaelides. And my God. So for those of you who don't know, The Silent Patient is about Alicia Brennington, a famous painter who kills her husband and escapes the death penalty and is committed to a mental facility to receive treatment. The key thing here is that she hasn't spoken since that night of the murder, not to defend herself or say anything about what happened. The story follows Theo Faber, Alicia's psychotherapist, who is working with her to get her to talk so that he can find out what really went down between her and her husband. Right off the bat, I will say this was a very fun and engaging read. The chapters are short. It kept my interest the entire way through. I read through this book in about 4 days. But the most memorable part of the book is definitely its third act. And without giving anything away, I will just say for many readers, it's going to be what they're going to come away remembering too. It's cool because I believe this is actually the author's debut novel. And if that's the case, I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him. And I'm very much on board to check out whatever else he's going to be coming out with. So let's get into the deep dive. So how I structure these reviews is I break it into 3 parts: plot, pacing, and characters. So we'll go through each one of them, then we'll give a grade, and then afterwards we'll talk a little bit about some spoilers. So for plot, the story wastes no time getting started. Right away, we are thrown into the aftermath of the murder. We meet our key characters and we are off to the races. This is a very hard book to review without dipping into spoilers, so I'm not going to go into too much right here. I will just say that it's one of those rare books that when you finish it, you want to go back to the start and read it all over again. I closed the book after finishing and I was raring to go. I'm like, I need to go back and look at this all over again. Which is really just a testament to the author's ability. What he has told here is a brilliant story that is smart, it's interesting, and it's something you won't forget reading. Another testament to the author's ability is the fact that this book moves very quick. The pacing is lightning fast, and while I was reading it, I was very engaged. I was fully invested and into the story. But one thing to say, like I said, without giving away spoilers, now that I've read the ending and I know what was going on, I do feel like there are some parts of this book that maybe were added for filler. There are some plot lines that don't really go anywhere, and I feel could have been edited out of the story if the author wanted them to be. And that kind of leads into the section on characters. I think Alicia and Theo are written very well. They're fully fleshed out. You get the full picture of their stories. But almost every other character felt super underwritten, almost to the point that their existence was solely to mislead the reader. If a character is going to be introduced into a story, they need to serve a purpose one way or another. Here, there are more than one examples of characters that I could think that just don't serve a purpose. They were included just to serve as a red herring to the reader. But the third act is so strong that it more than makes up for it, and when I look back on this book, I'm going to have fond memories of it. And that's why I'm going to be giving this book 4 out of 5 stars. I was waffling between giving it that 4.5, but I feel like because of those characters that just didn't really have much of a point, I'm going to knock it down to 4. And now I'm going to go into spoilers, so if you haven't read the book, now is your chance to click off. So as the book progresses, Theo starts to become a little unhinged. He discovers his wife is cheating on him, and my thought process while I was reading this was that he's going to end up doing something really drastic. I thought it was going to take place in the Grove, which is the facility Alicia is staying in. It turns out I was right in the end, but in a very roundabout way that I not at all expected. So while Theo is working with Alicia, we also get these snippets that are kind of continuing this B story of Theo discovering his wife is cheating on him. But it turns out that was all happening 6 years ago because he actually was involved in Alicia's husband's murder. What? And this goes back to my whole thing about how once you get to that twist, you want to go back and see if it checks out. I haven't had a chance to yet, but I'm interested to see if all those dots do connect. Because if they do, the author is just on a whole nother level. It's just a brilliant reveal that just leaves so much more to the rereading value. You could read this over and over to just keep looking for those little hints, those little clues that connect these two timelines, because you didn't realize they were on separate timelines when you're starting. And now that you do, it's just Oh my God. One thing I do want to mention is I do feel that the ending wraps up a little bit quickly. I feel that once we get that reveal, I felt there's a little bit more you could go into here. And I think the author was just in a let's wrap this up really quickly kind of mood. But all in all, this was a fun, easy read that I think anyone, if you're into these kind of stories, can pick up and enjoy. And I had a lot of fun with it. So that's my review of The Silent Patient. If you like this review, leave me a like. You could comment, subscribe. If you've checked out the book, let me know in the comments what you thought. And I'll be back next week for another book review. Until then, bye.